Hi friends, how are you guys doing today? I just finished the other day, The Wind in the Willows with my kiddos. It was precious, just story by Kenneth Graham. I recommend it. It definitely is silly. Lots of singing by the Toad, and I've just had flashbacks of going to Disneyland and being on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Unlike the ride at Disneyland, Mr. Toad does not end up in hell at the end of this book. Has anybody ever been on that ride? It's just so random. Suddenly Mr. Toad's in hell. I digress. I hope everyone is doing well. I recommend Wind in the Willows as a read with kiddos, and the narrator, we did it as an audiobook. The narrator that we listened to is just fabulous with the different voices of the different animals. So have a great day. Bye-bye. Hi friends, welcome to my minivan. How are you guys doing today? I finished Amari and the Night Brothers, and I really enjoyed this middle grade fantasy. It was very good. Amari is a young girl from the projects who has been given a scholarship to an academic school, and she has been mistreated there, and she had too much one day, and she shoved the girl, her poor single mom, who's just like works as she's not a nurse or anything like that where she'd be making good money, but she works at a hospital, and she had to leave her job to come get Amari, and this poor mom just has so much to deal with. The big part of the story in the beginning is that the brother has been missing, and people think that he's just done something illegal, and that's why he's gone missing, and Amari knows better. She thinks that there's something else, and somehow from wherever he is, he has sent something to communicate with her. She doesn't know whether he is dead or alive, but this communication, which I don't want to spoil, leads her to understand that there are more things to the world than we know, and that she needs to go check it out. It leads to her being part of a summer camp program that her mom thinks is just a regular summer camp that her brother also went to. I do love how right away Amari is just thrown into this fantastical world, and things start to happen, but she makes a friend right away, even though she's kind of being treated like in a very bad way because of the skills that she ends up having. And also, like in the beginning of the book, some of it is because she is African American, and it is very sad. I think this book does a lot better job of addressing this than some others that I have read in the past. I don't want to knock those other books, but this one I think really, showed how hard her family was working to get out of their situation. And the only thing that was really questionable for some people, and it didn't bother me at all, is that she does say some incantations to do the magic system, and I know some people watch out for things like that. They're just simple one-word incantations. I don't think that they're any actual witchcraft happening, but she is a magician, and she does use incantations. There is a spell book that they are trying to keep from the bad guys as well. So just for those of you that are careful with the magic that you let your children watch or read, I just wanted to put that out there. I didn't have a problem with any of the magic system personally. I know every family is different, so maybe preview before you let your kids read if you're concerned, but I thought it was a good one for middle school and up. It's not, it may be too intense for elementary age children. I really loved how they had Amari's mother be such a strong woman that showed compassion, but disciplining her daughter in love when she has done wrong and shoved another girl. She understands why it happened, and she shows so much compassion. But she also gives gentle discipline to Amari for shoving the girl. And so I really enjoyed the mother, even though she wasn't in the story a lot. I, of course, because I'm a mother, I pay attention to those things. I cannot wait to read the sequel. I know it comes out maybe in a couple of days. I'm going to put it on hold at the library, and if I find this second book appropriate, I'm definitely going to be getting the two sets of books for my daughter for Christmas. All right, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
This is the last book I read for the Upside Down Readathon, a Stranger Things inspired readathon, and it fulfilled the prompt of a game or competition The premise is a man named Westing has died who is very wealthy, and he's put all these random people together to compete for the inheritance. And it is so, it was funny, there were hijinks, there were interesting personality types. I really enjoyed it. It's a Newbery Medal winner, so it's technically a children's book, but it didn't feel like a children's book. The only thing that was different, this was written in the late 70s, so if you are going to just hand this book to your child, which I think it's totally fine to do, there's nothing bad in it, but our vernacular over the years has changed, and there's a character with Down syndrome, and that is talked about, and they referred to the character as having been retarded, and we just don't use that language nowadays. So just that simple explanation would be all you would need. The other two books that I read for the Upside Down Readathon were The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James and The Saturday Night Ghost Club by Craig Davidson. I did blogs for both of those, and I will link them in the description box. All right, hey guys, I've just finished reading 2 middle grade books in the last 24 hours. One was a read aloud with my children. This is The Little Prince by Antoine de Exupery. I always say his name wrong, but you don't know who I'm talking about. This book is just so special. It's about a little prince that he's from a little small planet, and he ends up on Earth and is stuck here. And there's also a pilot who has crashed his plane, and it's about their relationship and about learning what's important in life, and how sometimes when we grow up, things that are important really aren't important. And it's beautiful. It's such a well-translated work, and it's originally written in French. And if you look up some information about the author, it just makes the book a lot more meaningful. So I finished this book, The Unbreakable Code, and it is by Jennifer Chambliss Bertman, and it is about a girl who loves books, and she loves puzzles, and she's part of a book scavenger program with her best friend James, and sometimes her brother Matthew joins in, and they're solving mysteries. And so I love how it shows relationships matter. I love how it shows the trust they can have in some special adults in their life. And I think the mystery is, of course, a little bit predictable because it's middle grade, but I still loved it. I think it's a buddy read that I did with my daughter, but also it was part of the magical middle grade readathon that was at the beginning of this month. And I'm a little bit late on it because I also was on the Upside Down readathon as well. So this is just such a great book for those of you that love mysteries and middle grade. I think you will enjoy it, and I just want to thank the host of the magical middle grade readathon. This was a character that was like me. Amari and the Night Brothers was a character that was not like me. So for this, I'll be wrapping up my mid-September reads. Next on the agenda, I'm going to be finishing up finally The Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb. Love this for our series trilogy. I'm going to be reading Tolkien's The Silmarillion, and there's a plane flying overhead. And then I'm also going to be reading a NetGalley book that was publishers kind enough to let me read. Plane, go away. And it's called Giving Your Words, and it is a Christian parenting book about talking to your children. Although I think that people of any relational type thing would benefit from reading this, how to give words, how to talk. It's written by Sally Clarkson and Clay Clarkson. I love Sally Clarkson a lot. She's kind of like a Christian women's mentor to me as far as I read a lot of her books, and they really touch my heart. So that's what I'm doing for the rest of the month, and then we shall see. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your September. Bye-bye.